I'm an optimist in the same way, because if we look a little bit back, right, all the technology innovation we've seen in centuries, okay, it did look dangerous at first, and there were so many movements to oppose the natural advances of technology that it's now we're laughing at that, right? But it's exact same way. Electricity was very dangerous at first, right? Well, now we're looking at some funny examples.
Yeah. So basically, the artificial intelligence is going through the same path that many other revolutions. And there is a philosopher, Arthur Schopenhauer. He was a German philosopher of the 19th century. He said that any big idea is going through three steps. The first step, it is ridiculed. Because people don't believe in it. Okay, the first time you speak about artificial intelligence, so let's say decades ago, people were laughing about it, and then at some point it is considered being dangerous, and people are fighting against it. And the last step, the third step, is it becomes evident, obvious. So we are still in the middle of step 2 today, where some people are considering it dangerous. And some people now believe it's absolutely obvious. So we need just to let people understand that it's not the tool by itself which is dangerous. That's it.
That's it. Sounds very simple. Yes, Philippe.
Yeah, it's very simple. I mean, if you take, I have a great example about these 3 steps that I'm using in my talks usually. At the introduction of the iPhone in 2007 by Steve Jobs, it was in January at Macworld in San Francisco. He did this nice show introducing the iPhone, and then there was an interview of Steve Ballmer, who was the CEO of Microsoft at that point. And Steve Ballmer just ridiculed Apple by saying, okay, this machine is not interesting, this iPhone is not interesting, it doesn't have even a keyboard, which is, you cannot use it as a professional. And by the way, Microsoft is selling millions and millions of phones per year, and Apple is selling 0 phones per year. Okay, so, and saying it was $500 subsidized, it was the most expensive phone ever. So he ridiculed Apple in that respect. And of course, what happened is the following, that the sales of Microsoft in the mobile world, let's say, decreased, and iPhone went up. So it became a very big danger for Microsoft, and they decided to fight. What they have done, they acquired Nokia. Okay, this has been the way for them to fight. It didn't work. So this was the second step. The third step is, okay, iPhone is obvious, so let's deal with that. And the current development systems of Microsoft, so MSDN, is usable to create applications for the iPhone. Okay, so this is, you've got the complete arc of those 3 steps with the example of the iPhone and Microsoft.
Perfect example, Philippe. This is so memorable. I'm sure our audience will remember that. And this will be motivation and inspiration for those entrepreneurs to be, because, right, those examples just telling us, for those who can drive this, right, those who really believe and can deliver, opportunities are endless, truly, Philippe.
Okay. So there is a twist anyway. It's not because an idea is considered by being ridiculous that it is a good idea.
Oh yeah, yeah. The fact that people laughing at you doesn't mean that you're a genius, okay? There are other elements to that, but it's definitely food for thought. It's definitely food for thought, Philippe. I know you do a lot. You speak at a lot of places. You have the website. I will link to this video because you blog on these topics, and it's enormously enriching. I so thank you, Philippe, for sharing all the experiences, all your own knowledge with our audience today. Can we maybe in closing leave everybody with few takeaways. I mean, we talked about, right, innovation, the human side, organizational side, technical side, and of course, right, the mindset, the innovative mindset. So how can we simply summarize, yes, with few takeaways?
Okay, so the first takeaway I have is that anyone, absolutely anyone, can innovate, given that you are in a context that promotes free expression. So this is the first point. The second point is if you have to propose something as a new idea that can become an innovation, do your homework by experimenting a little bit on your side, and you can have some friends or colleagues experimenting with you. So you have to be convincing in that respect. Which come to the third point. If you want to convince, it is good to understand the basics of public speaking, because you need to convince, you need to persuade. And having some skills of public speaking will definitely help you to convince some colleagues to help and experiment with you on your idea. So public speaking in that case means, of course, having the right storytelling about what you can do with the idea, and of course, it's not about manipulation. It's really about conviction. And if you are a CEO or a manager, you've got to question yourself about, am I showing the right example to my teams? Am I creating a culture in which people are able to express themselves in freely? So because if you don't have that culture, you're going to stop people. So the responsibility, the duty here is pretty significant. That was my takeaways.
Beautiful, beautiful, Philip. Thank you so very much for being such a wonderful guest at SaugaTalks today. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Irene.